Hello, entrepreneurs. Joe DeChara, CPA extraordinaire, coming to you live from downtown Bethpage, Long Island, New York, for another amazing episode of How to Win at Business. And if you if you're watching live, please give me a hashtag live. If you're watching a replay, give me a hashtag replay. And if you would like to connect with me, if anything I say or do registers with you, uh, please feel free to go to Time with Joe. I'm looking for my banner here, and I can't. It's gone. I don't know what happened. Uh, oh, here we go. Timewithjoe.com. Okay, that's how you book free chat with me about your business. If you have any questions about the current state of taxes and what we have in store for you, and there's a lot on the horizon, folks, and most of it is bad. Most of it is bad. Some of it is good, and I want to share all of it with you. And tonight's uh, topic, it's going to be a topic a lot is on Social Security. Is Social Security fair? If you have a business and you want to start a payroll, you're going to have to pay payroll taxes. And that is a big expense. I mean, it's hard enough to find people, but when you got to add uh, taxes, payroll taxes on top of their salary. And I'm not saying that, the payroll taxes are bad or wrong. What I'm saying is that the people that can least afford it, the smallest business owners that have to put themselves on payroll and then hire, maybe part-time employees, and all of a sudden they got to pay workers comp and other expenses. It's hard enough to start a business, and the established businesses already proved that they at least have a business that can uh, hire people. Because out of 30 million businesses, folks, 25 million are still sole proprietors, meaning they don't have a corporate entity, they don't have payroll, but they still have payroll taxes in the form of FICA tax, Social Security tax, Medicare tax, uh, insurance. But let's stick to uh, what I wanted to talk to tonight, which is do you feel like Social Security is fair? Not are you getting enough, if you're getting it, and the fact is that multimillionaires, billionaires collect Social Security. Now, that's not what it was designed for. It wasn't designed for rich people to get supplemental income. It was designed for poor people that were broke, people that were homeless, because when the Depression hit, there were millions and millions of hobos. That's what they called them, homeless men that couldn't find work. And that's what we wanted to avoid. I wasn't alive then, but it was like, a chicken in every pot. That was the idea. In other words, people wouldn't have to go hungry anymore. Not if the government could do something about it. And Social Security started a 1% tax on businesses. Employees didn't even have to contribute. Now it's up to 15.3%, which is split between the employer and the employee. Okay, so when you have a job, maybe you don't feel it as much because it's taken out of your check. It's taken out of your check. You get used to what your take home pay is. There's nothing you can do about it. But if you're the boss, if you're paying those salaries, that's hitting your bottom line. Okay. And I think most people know that if nothing is done, if you don't know, Social Security is going to run out of money. The actuarial, the projections are in 35 years, if nothing is done, it's going to run out of money. There's reasons for this that they didn't factor into when they created Social Security. And thank you, Facebook user. I don't know who you are right now because I only see Facebook user, but thank you for the comments. And if anybody has comments, please, any questions, post them in the chat and I will get a notification, even if it's the recording, and I will get back to you. That's one good thing about Facebook. There's a lot of good things about Facebook, but I like that feature because it keeps uh, me in the know. I know what people are asking, and whether you would agree or if you disagree, let me know because not everything I say is right. Sometimes I'm wrong. Uh, hey, Stacy, how are you? Nice to meet you. I don't think we've met yet, but yeah, if we're in Craig's, I'll be in Texas in February. Looking forward to that. Uh, so thank you for your comments. But here's the thing, folks. Why am I talking about Social Security? Because my business is focused on helping the smallest of small businesses. And a big way that we reduce people's taxes is by setting them up with a corporation, an S corporation in most cases, and eliminating the 15.3, well, it's a little less than that, but let's just say 15% tax on sole proprietors net income. So let's say you're destitute, you decide to start a business because you want to put food on the table. You make 20 grand a year to help, now that's uh, a little more money for you. Not a lot. You're under the poverty level. Well, according to the IRS, you got to pay 15% of that 20 grand, $3,000. That's a lot of money to somebody only making 20 grand. Okay, well, there's solutions to that. There's solutions to that. They might be aggressive. Not everyone agrees with me. A lot of accountants don't agree with me, but that's fine. That's fine. Based on what I do, I've never had a problem with it. Over 40 years, it's the same exact strategy. And the savings come in the fact that when you're a corporation, you have leverage, you have choices over how you pay yourself and how much you pay in taxes. That's what wealthy people do. When you hear about these millionaires that take over these companies and take $1 in salary, I used to think that, wow, they really love this company. They're working for $1 a year. Well, I didn't realize that they own stock in the company and they could always just sell the stock or, do what a lot of people do, which is just borrow money against it because that's what people do. They use other people's money to get even richer. What do they do with that money? They buy other companies, they buy other stocks. And the rich keep getting richer and the poor keep getting poorer. And that's the issue. That's really the issue. 25 million sole proprietors are formed the wrong way because they just don't know. The system is complicated, and hiring people that do know is expensive. It's a bad situation because when s-corps were created, it was to bridge the gap between the sole proprietors and the corporations. Okay, because it's not supposed to be that way. It's just not supposed. That's what I believe. So the question is, do you think it's fair now that what they're proposing, what do you think they're proposing? They're going to raise the Social Security. It hasn't been raised in, I think, over 30 years. It hasn't, the rate has stayed the same. Uh, so what are they going to do? They're going to raise the floor. So if you're making, and I don't even remember because the numbers just, there's too many numbers to remember, but let's say the maximum is 120, they're going to make it 150. Okay, if you're making 150,000, hopefully you can afford uh, the extra expense. Uh, I'm not going to complain about that, but some of the things that should be addressed aren't being addressed. Like if somebody makes below the poverty level, they shouldn't have to pay any Social Security tax. It was supposed to help poor people. Now it's making people poor. And rich people are collecting Social Security tax. I have clients that are pretty wealthy and they get their Social Security. And I'm not saying they're not entitled to it. They paid in. But the problem is that when they created it, people didn't live as long. They didn't expect people to be collecting until they were 100. That's a problem. That's a big problem. Okay, anybody that knows anything would have said, you know what? If people keep living, this system is going to collapse. And the truth is that the system is is built on sand. It's built on sand. We need systems that are built on bedrock. And the reason, so I'm going to share the reason with you now because it's the politicians. They at some point they got a hold of the Social Security Trust Fund and somehow they started using it to fill the budget deficits. So you're talking about an enormous amount of money that the politicians are using for political reasons. And I don't have the solution. I'm not a politician. I'm an accountant. That all I do is I look out for my clients' finances and how I could help them. And what I learned is that now what's the IRS doing? They just passed an infrastructure bill where they're going to hire over 80, no, close to 87,000 IRS auditors. It was like 86,325. I don't know where they come up with these numbers, but that's going to more than double the IRS workforce. Now, 80,000 employees, they're not all auditors. So these people are coming to collect money. Now, what the politicians say is that they're going to get the money from the wealthy taxpayers. That's who they're going after. All these tax cheats. Well, hello, you're already squeezing those people, and those people already got expensive accountants and lawyers to protect them. That ain't going to work. That's not going to raise any revenue. That's like when politicians, uh, again, I'm not a politician, but all I know is that they just keep kicking the can down the road. They just keep kicking it down the road and they're hurting the small business owners. So, you know, a couple of issues that perpetuate this, I think, is the fact that these small business owners don't have a lobby. They don't have the money to go to their congressman to try to get votes. Uh, this is a problem, folks. This is a big problem. And those 87,000 auditors are going to be going after who? They're going to be going after the sole proprietors and the s-corps that I'm setting up now. Okay, the small business owners, because you can't get blood from a stone. Yeah, there's probably all kinds of billions of dollars worth of tax scams going on with offshore accounts and people skimming and money laundering and all that stuff. But those aren't the small business owners. And you're not going to get the trillions of dollars that you think you're going to get uh, by hiring all those IRS agents. What you're going to do is you're probably going to put millions and millions of businesses out of business unless they do something about it now. So if you're a small business owner, if you're a sole proprietor, my advice is to be proactive. Look at your business, okay? Look at how you're keeping your records. Look at your tax structure. Are you structured properly? Are you going to be protected? Because there are going to be more audits now than ever in history. Now, this is great for my business. I have job security for the rest of my life. I'd rather be doing something else, to be honest with you. But I'm here to help small business owners. If you like to find out how you can actually come, you can join us in our weekly mastermind. And it's actually Mastermind with Joe now. If you don't have to spell my last name, you don't have to. So it's just mastermindwithjoe.com. And you can get a free taste of what we do because it's all based on educating people that don't know what they don't know. So if you don't know what you don't know and you want to know, then either book a chat with me at timewithjoe.com or go to mastermindwithjoe.com. We meet on Fridays at 11:30 Eastern Standard Time, 11:30 a.m., not p.m. So I'm looking forward to connecting with you. God bless and have a great night. And I will be seeing you again shortly with more amazing